Hello, I'm Andrew Pezzelli, and welcome inside another edition of The Coaches Show. I'm joined, as always, by Salve Regina football head coach Kevin Gilmartin. And Kevin, thank you for being here.
As always, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep, and you had a bit of a nail-biter this weekend. I'm sure the weather played into that. Not exactly the game you thought it was going to be going into it. The weather, a great equalizer. Talk about that game.
Yeah, definitely an exciting game. We came out, we went into that game. Our plan was to be throwing the ball on them, and then come Thursday, once you found out that Mother Nature was going to come to play, throwing 30-mile-per-hour winds in your face makes it very difficult to throw the ball, and that's exactly what happened. So all of a sudden it comes down to the wire, fourth quarter. They're driving down the field, and we all of a sudden get a sack to end the game, and it's a happy way to end. It is a win. You get away with the win, and you're happy to walk away with W's every time.
Yeah. Now, you talked about passing the ball. You wanted to do it coming in. The rain, the wind limited that. But probably one of the biggest drives of the game was a two-play drive. You get the ball in the fourth quarter. You're down 17-15, and you decide, let's just chuck it. And you chuck one up top to Matt Trainer. Very next play, boom, chuck it into the corner to Alex Hume. Touchdown, you guys take the lead. What was the thought process? What made you say, you know what, we've been running it. Let's pass it when you're playing in a big storm?
Right. Well, I mean, our plan was, when you had the wind at your back, we can throw it. But when the wind was in your face, it was extremely difficult. We had the wind on our back in the first quarter and the fourth quarter. In the first quarter, we got the ball, we drove down the field and scored, and then the next two times that we had it, we fumbled the ball, and it was a matter of just, quarterback getting it, bobbling it, hitting the running back, and the ball's on the ground. So in the first quarter, when we planned on throwing the ball, we only had the ball for the one series, and we drove down the field and scored on that. So then second and third quarter, we're just trying to survive with the wind in our face, not throwing the ball, running the ball, Sam Pascal getting it done. But then in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, it looked like we were saving it at that point in time, or, what was the change? The change was all of a sudden we're going the other way, and we got the wind at our back. So let's start airing it out right away, and that's what we did. Threw it up top to Matt for the touchdown, for the long gain, and then the touchdown to Alex the very next play, which put us up in the lead. And then it was in the fourth quarter, and then the next couple series we didn't throw it as much, only because I think I was probably a little too conservative, saying it's a close game, let's try to milk that clock out. Probably should have thrown it a little bit more then to try to add another touchdown in there, but instead it was trying to milk it out. So my mistake, which makes it come down to a very close game, but hey, we get the win.
Yeah, and obviously I think you're going to have slightly better conditions this weekend to play. Let's talk about that matchup.
Well, I don't think it can be worse conditions. I mean, in my long tenure from a player to a coach, I think I've only been in two other games that were anywhere close to Mother Nature being a part of that. But this weekend we're playing a very good team. The last two games they've lost 14-13 and 13-7. So what does that tell you? That tells you their defense is playing very well. In the last 5 games, they've only let up 12 points per game. That's phenomenal. It starts with their defensive line up front. They're very solid, very very physical up front. Big 6'3" DNs, nose guard, and they're going to continue to pressure the quarterback and the run game. They're not a blitzing, coming after your team. They just do what they do, and they do it very well. And because of that, they've been shutting a lot of teams down. And then on the other side of the ball is led by a sophomore quarterback who started every game as a freshman last year, and he's still rolling this year. So it should be an exciting game, and hopefully we can come back from getting all this water off us and everything, and hopefully get a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, Coach, good luck this weekend, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Salve Regina football head coach Kevin Gilmartin. I'm here with Paul Hurley and Francis Spencer of the Salve Regina football team. And guys, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Now, a tough, hard-fought victory for you guys this weekend. How are you able to pull it out? And as I understand, Francis, your first start.
Yeah, it definitely was a tough game for us this weekend. The weather definitely took us a little bit out of our game plan, but we adjusted. I think we were able to get the victory as planned as a team. We really showed up in all 3 phases of the game. Defense stepped up huge at the end of the game to seal the victory for us. Special teams, we had a few big returns that really put us in good positions as an offense to score, and as an offense, we were able to get the job done.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was it like to be out there playing in those crazy elements, Paul, if you want to talk about that?
The elements are always, it always sets the tone for a really exciting game. And,
I don't know. Personally, I've always loved playing in the weather. I've always loved playing in the rain. You know, I could do without the cold, but you know, the rain is still. It just set a real fun tone for the game, and real exciting finish.
Yeah. What's it like for you guys to be seniors on this football team?
It's definitely an amazing feeling to be a senior on this football team. To see where the program has gone from when we came in as freshmen to where we are now, and to see the caliber of kids that we're bringing in, and just to see how things are just going to bloom for the school in the years to come. It's just amazing to see all that.
Yeah, and definitely with being a senior, I know all year we've talked about how the seniors are all leaders on this team, and one thing I just really wanted to point out is that, you know, senior year to me was more almost all about the the bonds we've made with people, the bonds we've made with coaches, and you know, I'll never forget those 4 years that we've had here. So really memorable being a senior.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a big game this weekend, so good luck with that game, and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much
for having us.
Paul Hurley and Francis Spencer of the Salve Regina football team.